Welcome back to Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial on North Shore 1049. My name is Marc Freedman. I'm President and CEO of Freedman Financial, and we are in our last and final segment of today's show. And I want to talk to you about something that I saw a presentation a while ago. I've seen it like 4 or 5 times, and every time I see it, it gets better and better and better because it so applies to our lives. And it's a presentation that is put together, believe it or not, at MIT. There's an organization at MIT called the Age Lab. It's run by Dr. Joseph Coughlin. And we've taken some of our clients to the Age Lab in Cambridge so that they can see what they do there to how to prepare for the aging population. But one of the presentations they've put together is called Life in 8,000 Day Segments. 8,000 days is roughly 22 years. And so if we're going to live to roughly the average life expectancy, 85, 88 years old, imagine if you could live your life in 8,000 day segments. Think about that. It's kind of weird to think that, but think about it. So the first 8,000 days of your life are what we would call the learning days. First 8,000 days is going to take you to age 18, 19, 20. It's your formative years. You're a child, you go off to school, you get an education, you begin to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, you learn a lot about yourself. It's the learning stage. You learn a lot about stuff. And I call that oftentimes, when I talk to my kids, you're in the knowledge stage. You're building a lot of information. One of the things you don't have in the learning stage, by the way, is experience or wisdom. You just get a lot of facts. And your facts in today's world of learning are amplified by your ability to go to Google or go to your phone and just type in a question. What is, how do I say, what does this mean? There's no research or anything. It's just whatever the first thing is that pops up, that must be the answer. That's called the learning phase. The second 8,000 days of our life are what we call the growing phase. This is the period of time between 20 and 40. It's the time when you might get your first job. Well, you hopefully will have your first job by then. But you're beginning to develop a relationship. Maybe you have children. You're dealing with nurturing children. You're beginning to appreciate all of the lessons that your parents taught you in your childhood that you thought were a biggest waste of time and that your parents were idiots. They didn't know anything. Now all of a sudden you're in your 20s and your 30s and you go, I wish I listened more. Or, oh my God, Mom and Dad, I appreciate many of the things that you taught me. We call this the growing stage. You're beginning to develop some experiences, but you're still learning at the same time. The third phase, now you've hit age 40, 41. The next 20 years, or the next 8,000 days, are what we call the maturing stage. Now you begin to see life through a different lens. You're beginning to see it because you've had some experiences. You're slowing down a little bit. You're beginning to say, these are the best earning years of my life, but also some of the most expensive years of my life. But you're approaching things not shooting from the hip anymore. You're being a little bit more thoughtful. As you get older, you realize you don't need 900 friends. The whole idea of FOMO, which we talked about in the last episode of the last segment of fear of missing out, you really don't care anymore. You don't feel like you have to invite everybody to your house for the party. You invite the people you want to invite. You go out with the people you want to go out with. You watch the TV shows and listen to the music that you want to listen to rather than what everybody else does. And then, of course, you reach that final phase. Those final 8,000 days that we call retirement. And years ago, it was like the end of the road, the final phase. But now, it's like a new beginning. Many people refer to it as an encore career. Some people refer to it as the longest summer vacation of your life. You know, there's generally 100 days in summer vacation. I think Phineas and Ferb were the ones that came up with these. There's 100 and something days of summer vacation. I forget how it goes, but there's about 100 days in summer vacation. When you approach retirement, it's the summer vacation for the rest of your life. You get to choose. You get to decide. You get to do what you want to do. But we break down those 8,000 days into 4 segments. And this is what the Age Lab helped us with. Is they called each of these phases, phase 1 is what's called the honeymoon phase. Number 2 is the big decision phase. Number 3 is the longevity phase. And number 4 is not death. It's the solo journey phase. Because chances are, one of you, if you're a couple, will finish life alone. That's going to happen. You won't be with the partner. So how do we prepare? What are some of the things that go on in each of these phases of our life? Well, as you approach the first stages of those 8,000 days, maybe it's the first 2,000 days, it can be more, it could be less, but calling that the honeymoon phase, some of the things that you're doing is you're managing ambiguity. You're not quite sure what to do. All of a sudden you realize, I don't have anybody reporting to me anymore. If you were working, maybe you had a team of 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever people reporting up to you. They look to you for guidance, for advice, and all of a sudden the emails and the phone stops. No one's looking to you for advice. In fact, you're reporting to more people than are reporting to you. Chances are you're reporting to your spouse. And now the two of you are back home, and it's back to the courting phase of when you were first dating. Kids are out of the house, there's no more job, and it's just the two of you, and you're beginning to realize, do we still like each other? What can we do together? One of the important questions that I ask people as they approach the honeymoon phase of their retirement is, tell me what the things are that the two of you both enjoy doing together, and eating out can't be one of them. It's not an easy question. And finding answers to that question are very, very difficult. And one of the things that you learn during the honeymoon phase is that you both need to enjoy your own independence as well as the time with one another. Perhaps one of you is into gardening, one of you is into golf. One of you is into volunteering, and one of you enjoys binge watching television. You need your space. Some people think in retirement, oh, we'll cut it down to one car. No, 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 no. Don't do that unless you're a big fan of Uber and you want to get picked up and be driven around. But many people in retirement, look, the retirement phase isn't what it was generations ago, especially this honeymoon phase. You're not ready to stop working, to just drop everything and be done drinking lemonade and rocking in a rocking chair, sewing an Afghan, and maybe, watching the day go by. No, you want to still work. And what are some of the interesting things that retirees are doing today? Did you know that some of the, one of the largest age groups who are Ubering and Lyfting these days, driving for Uber, driving for Lyft, are people who are just entering retirement? All they get to do is they get to drive around, meet interesting people, make their own hours, come home when they want. Because you know what they also find they have to do when they retire? They want to spend more time, they say, with the family. Well, that can be a blessing or a curse. Because you want to say you want to spend more time with the family? Well, your kids might be saying, well, great. Can you babysit every day? Can you daycare every day? Can you watch the kids? And you may not want to do that all the time, but you have to deal with a new set of family dynamics. Dynamics that the children wouldn't have imposed upon you when you had been working. But now that you're in this honeymoon phase and beginning that stage of beginning that stage of retirement, you have some time and you have to deal with those family dynamics. What's the next phase, though? You get through those first 2,000 days, you get your travel out of the way, you get to do all the stuff that you said I wanted to do, and then you realize, we're aging a little bit, maybe things are aching a little bit more, you're starting to schedule a few more doctor's appointments, you're getting a little tired of the kids nagging you for having to watch everybody all the time, you want a little bit of freedom, and you say, you know what? The next phase is what's called the big decision phase. And that big decision phase is, can we still live in this house? Can we still stay in this place? Is it too big for us? Can we handle the stairs? Do we want all this space? And if we don't, where will we live? Will we be moving to a retirement community? Will we be downsizing? Do we want to move into an in-law place with the kids? Do we want to move to Florida? Do we want to have 2 residences? All of these are very big decisions, and they require a lot of money to make those decisions. These are the decisions that people have with us all the time at Freedman Financial, trying to figure out what is best. The next phase is that, I can't even say the word, navigating longevity. You see, once you approach that 75 and 80 years old, that third 2,000 days of retirement, you're beginning to ask yourself, I think I had all the time in the world, and now I don't know where all the time has gone. And how am I going to manage the rest of that time? How will I manage my health? How will I manage the administration of my life and my spouse's life as one of us begin to fail in health? Will we need to bring in a caregiver? Do we need to bring in a family member? What are we going to do? And that final phase, of course, called the solo journey, is when you finally lost that life partner of yours and you're now on your own. And you have to revisit the first 3 phases of retirement to say, can I do things that I wasn't able to do before? Maybe my spouse was dragging me down because of this person's health. Maybe I'm able to spend more time with the kids. Maybe it's time for me now to move out of the house. Maybe it's time for me to start getting a handle on my finances. Maybe I need to expand my social network because all of my friends were connected to my spouse. Lots of emotional issues when it comes to retirement, and when we're dealing with retirement at Freedman Financial, it's the balance of both. People come to us for financial advice, but frankly, life advice in retirement. It's what we do every day. It's what we've been doing for 52 years. And if now is the time for you to get serious about your financial planning, for your retirement planning, for your investment life, give us a call, 978-531-8108. That's 978-531-8108. We're available for a free initial consultation. All you need to do is give our office a call, leave a message for Jody today, or call anytime you like. We'll send you off a kit. We'll point you to our website, which is freedmanfinancial.com. That's Freedman, to E's and a D, financial.com. We'll get you started. We'll set you on the right course. And we'll be back next week with more Dollars and Cents with Freedman Financial on North Shore 104.9.
Dollar, that's what I need. Hey, hey. Well, I need a dollar, that's what I need. Hey, hey. Said I need a dollar, that's what I need. And if I share with